Hey everybody, Matt here, and today I want to compare the open back version of the H6 Pro to the PC38X. Now the only other videos I could find on this topic were people comparing the closed back version of the H6 Pro to the PC38X, which was just a little bit weird to me. There's nothing wrong with comparing a closed back to an open back headset, but I figured people who were searching for this topic specifically would want to know how the open backs stack up to each other. As always, for those of you who don't want to watch the entire video, here's a summary. Both of these are phenomenal headsets that I'm happy to recommend. This is not going to be a simple A is better than B video. The biggest difference between these two is going to be the sound. Not the audio quality, but the sound. The H6 Pro offers a much boomier, gamer-ish audio that is much more akin to a closed-back headset, but in the open-back form factor, whereas that PC38X gives the classic open-back experience with that crisp, clean sound that a lot of us are familiar with. Both of these are great in their own ways. Personally, I'm loving the H6 Pros, but I can see how they're not for everybody. If you're an audiophile and hearing any sort of bass or booms is going to fuck your day up, then yes, consider getting the PC38Xs. But if you want that more traditional immersive gaming audio, and no, I'm not talking about that bullshit Turtle Beach, but actual good immersive audio, then the H6 Pro might be worth taking a look at. If you're still sitting there saying, okay, well great Matt, well which one of these should I buy? I'm going to have to reply back with a question, which is, what matters most to you in a gaming headset? For me, I've always said on this channel that the two most important things in a gaming headset are audio quality and comfort. The thing can be made out of gold and encrusted with diamonds, but if it sounds like crap and it's not comfortable to wear, I'm not buying it. All right? So what matters most to you? Because in my category of those two things, the PC38X still reigns supreme, which is why I still happily recommend it to anybody, coworkers, friends, people on the channel, because it is that great of a headset when it comes to those two categories. The H6 Pro, on the other hand, will be perfect to some people. Both the audio and comfort seem to be relatively subjective topics in the customer reviews that I've seen. People complain that the audio is not as crisp or clear as open back headsets should be, which, again, it's because it's like a semi-open back. And then they also say that the clamping force is too tight and it's just not comfortable, which I disagree with. But again, what's comfortable to me might not be comfortable to you. But we'll go ahead and get into this kind of open back thing right now. So when you're talking about open backs, the PC38X, like I said, has that classic full-blown open back experience. That means that when I have them on, I can hear myself as clearly as if I'm not wearing anything at all right? The H6 Pros, on the other hand, definitely are a little bit more muffled than they are, but they're nowhere near as muffled as a closed back headset, right? With a closed back headset, you constantly find yourself shouting by the end of the night because you want to be able to hear yourself when you talk. At least I do, right? The whole reason I started buying open back headsets was because I needed to hear my surroundings and the people in my household, especially once I had a little kid running around. The thing that I was the most worried about when I swapped to the H6 Pro was that with that semi-open back, I would be losing that ability, and I was wrong. The other night, I was in the middle of King's Fall Raid in Destiny 2 with my friends. We were in the middle of a gunfight, people were talking, and I could still hear my daughter 2 rooms away with the door shut, having a nightmare and crying, right? And that was really reassuring to me, because if I am not able to hear my daughter while I'm gaming, then I'm not keeping the headset. I would have returned the next day, right? But I was able to hear, and to me that was incredibly reassuring. So I hope that anecdote kind of helps assuage any fears as to whether or not you'll be able to hear outside noises. So a big area where the H6 Pro stands out from the PC38X is in terms of the build quality. It's just noticeably nicer. Right out of the box, you can tell they paid a lot more attention to detail. It has that nice leather headband up top versus the split cloth design. It has the gold accents here on the racing green version, which is what I got. It has the engraved Epos logo versus it just being printed on the PC38X. The open back design is just a tiny bit different. It's really hard to see on the one here on the H6 Pro, but still it's a little bit different how they did that. But most noticeably, the ear cushions are significantly thicker and deeper. They went with the ear-shaped design versus oval here. Now, something to note is that these differences aren't an endorsement of one being better than the other. They're just different. Like I said, the attention to detail on the H6 Pro is great. When I opened the box up, I was definitely impressed. All right, they look and feel wonderful, like that $150 price tag. In terms of similarities, they both have that rotating volume dial on the right ear cup. They both still use the exact same connection, which is really nice. If you own the game ones, the PC38Xs, whatever, you're sticking with the exact same connector. Thank you, Sennheiser, Epos, Drop, whatever, for not swapping that stuff around. So you can use your cables from your previous headsets. In the box, you get the short 3.5 millimeter one, and you get the longer one that splits into the dual headphone and microphone jacks. You don't get any swappable ear cushions with this or a little bag like you do with the PC38X, but I don't think that should be an important factor in your buying decision. The microphone on both of these is flipped to mute, and the mic quality is phenomenal. I'll do a short demo later, but where it differs on the H6 Pro is the ability to magnetically detach it. You can pop this thing off and using one of these little included plates, cover it up, and then all you gotta do to get it off is you just apply a little bit of pressure and it slides right off, all right? I think at first, I thought this was just a stupid gimmicky thing, but it is actually kind of nice if you know you're not gonna be gaming with any of your friends that night to just remove the microphone instead of having it sitting in your peripheral vision or for some reason having it down, whatever. Epos said that it was a feature for people who are streamers or broadcasters so that they can just buy these, but here's the thing. If you don't plan on using these for gaming or never using the microphone, I wouldn't buy them, right? If all you need is a great pair of headphones, open back headphones, there are gonna be better options than these. You know, the price point includes the microphone, and the microphone is great. These are definitely a gaming headset, so keep that in mind. So in terms of comfort, and again, this might be a subjective topic, but the PC38X is God tier in that regard. I wore these every single day from the day that I bought them until I bought the H6 Pros, and I cannot overstate how comfortable they were to me, all right? The H6 Pros worried me. I hated the design of the GSP line, and this kind of follows in the same path, so I was worried that I wouldn't find them comfortable or that the clamping force would be too tight like people were saying, but I have to disagree with all that. I find these to be very comfortable. I've worn them for unhealthily long gaming sessions, and I never experienced any discomfort. So take that for what you will. Now I'm 6'4", 205 pounds, so I'm a relatively bigger person. So if you have a bigger head or a way smaller head, I don't know, but to me, these were more than comfortable, all right? The only time that I had any discomfort, which is I've had with every single headset, is where I'm wearing these with glasses for up to like 3 hours, right? Anytime you have the sides of your glasses pushing into your face for that long, it's gonna get uncomfortable. There's nothing to knock about these for that, right? I will say, kind of like I was mentioning, it's just weird that they had to go with this like design, okay? Here's the whole design feature. So you can swivel the ear cups and then they do that. And guess what? On the PC38X, without that fancy thing, they still do that. So whatever, you know what I mean? I've talked about the audio a bit already, but just to revisit it, I love the sound on both of these. I spend about 80 to 90% of my time on my PC gaming, so I have no problem with the more gamer-y audio that comes out of the H6 Pros, all right? Personally, I believe that if either one of these headsets were to show up at the majority of people's homes, they would be happy with the product they received without ever having to try the other one out. It is very difficult to describe unless you actually get to try them on for yourself, all right? If you're coming from a closed back headset, the H6 Pros might be a perfect stepping stone for you. If you want that pure open back audio, then the PC38X is going to be the way to go in the audio department. All right, so pardon all the bullshit. That's where I work during the day. That's where I film some videos like the keyboard one I just did. But this is the microphone on the PC38X. I think it sounds phenomenal. It's same one they had on the Game 1. Pretty legendary at this point in terms of how clear you sound when you're talking in Discord or in game, whatever it may be. But yeah, this is it. I'm going to go ahead and swap over to the H6 Pro so you can hear those. I've listened to this a couple times now, and to me, these sound exactly the same. I love the fact that they use the same connection, definitely. It makes swapping easy, although I have no idea why anybody would ever need to swap, like midway through anything. But yeah, this is the same exact microphone pretty much, which is really impressive considering you can just pop it off and pop it right back on. So that's it for the audio test. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. One of the things I pride myself on with this channel is the ability to give you guys honest opinions versus canned bullshit advertisements, all right? I bought both these with my own money, and it would be disingenuous for me to just say, oh, yep, the H6 Pro is better. I wouldn't listen to anybody who says the H6 Pro is new, therefore it's better, because that's just bullshit. The PC38X is still an absolutely phenomenal headset, and I'm never going to stop recommending it, all right? I just like the H6 Pros because it's a little bit more fun sounding, as weird as that may come across, For the games that I play, World of Warships, Overwatch 2, Destiny 2, Rocket League, I like having the more boomy explosions. That's it. I just enjoy it. It just sounds more fun to me, which is why I am going to stick with these, all right? I hope the video helped out in some way, shape, or form. This is definitely a bit of a tougher topic because it's just so subjective, right? What I like, you may not. And more importantly, how do you convey to an audience what something sounds like if they can't hear it for themselves, right? So I hope it helped out in some way, shape, or form. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave in the section below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, but more importantly, let me know what I could have done better. I really enjoy making these for y'all. I hope you have a great rest of the week. Talk to you later.